My name is David Debney. I'm the Head of Technology for Whole Aircraft at the Aerospace Technology Institute. I'm here today to talk about our latest insight paper on single pilot operations, so that's having one pilot in the cockpit flying the aircraft. The trend for reducing the number of flight crew in the cockpit is nothing new. In the 1950s and 60s, you may have had as many as 4 or 5 people in the cockpit. That included navigators and flight engineers as well as the pilots. Over time, the roles and responsibilities have merged so that we now have 2 pilots today. What we're talking about here is an evolutionary step to take those 2 pilots and merge them into one and combine their roles and responsibilities. There are a number of challenges associated with going to a single pilot operation. The first one is safety. We will have to find a way to implement this system to operate with a single pilot in a way that is at least as safe as what we have today. We also need to find a way to effectively communicate that to the general public such that they don't feel any additional anxiety when flying on an aircraft that only has a single pilot. The second challenge is a technological one. At the moment, we have 2 pilots in the cockpit to absorb all the information that comes in and also interact with the controls and things like that. We need to find a way to configure those controls such that they are easily operable in all situations by a single pilot. That may also need additional communication systems for things like air traffic management as an additional way of offloading some of the pilot's responsibilities. So as you would expect, the ATI is already investing in the technology required to realise single pilot operations. We're involved with the Open Flight Deck programme. This is looking at things like the new design of the cockpit. How do you need to design the controls? How do you need to relay the information to the pilot to make decisions? It's a systems engineering exercise to consider what information is critical in any given situation for the pilot to retain the ultimate authority but be assisted by the systems in all flight situations, in all weathers, in any given scenario. Autonomy has been getting a huge amount of press coverage recently, both for aircraft and for cars. Autonomy is likely to be a future state, but there are a huge number of challenges that still need to be solved before that's realisable. Single pilot operation is a sensible intermediate step that reduces some of the technical challenges but goes some way to the offload of pilot responsibility whilst having the pilot retain ultimate decision rights in the near term. We're already solving the technical challenges. The regulatory and other challenges such as safety will be solved, but we're not talking in the next few years. It's likely, with product timescales in aviation, that we're talking at least 10 to 15 years before single pilot operation will be a reality. If you're interested in more detail on single pilot operations, the insight paper can be found on the ATI website.